Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome. My name is Liaquat and we are going through Mukhtasar al-Qudoori. Right, so al-Qira'atu. So you guys should know what this means. Qira'a is a word that's come before. And wajibatun. Wajibatun, you guys should know what that means as well. Okay, so a lot of these words are words which you guys have come across before, so I'm not going to be translating them. Ulayaini means the first two. It's the dual of ula. Right, so the first two. Rak'atayn ulayayn, and then you've got wa huwa mukhayyar, and this is ism maf'ul, mukhayyar, to give someone a choice. Right, so to give someone a choice. Ukhrayayn, it means the last two. Ukhra. Yeah, or other two. Other two or last two. Can be used. So here we're going to translate it as the last two. إن شاء قرأ الفاتحة وإن شاء سكت يسكت سكوت, which means to be silent or silent. And إن شاء سبح يسبح, it means to say subhanallah. To say subhanallah. والقراءة واجبة في جميع means all. دخل في صلاة النفل. أفسد يفسد إفساد, to spoil, to ruin. And قضاء, it means to repeat. قال أبو يوسف يصلي النافلة قاعدا مع القدرة. قدرة means ability, capability or ability. قيام means standing. لا يجوز إلا من عذر. عذر means an excuse. من ومن كان خارج المصر. خارج means outside. يتنفل, he does نفل. على دابته جهة means direction. توجهت, so توجه يتوجه توجها, to face. يومي إيماء, to indicate. Okay, so that's that done. A little bit of a تركيب. So القراءة is مبتدا, واجبة is the خبر, أوليين is the صفة of ركعتين موصوف, وهو مخير. مخير is going to be the khabar of huwa. And ukhrayayn. Fatiha is the maf'ul bihi of qara'a. And then you got wajibatun, again is the khabar of qira'a. في جميع ركعات النفل مضاف مضاف إليه, all of that is. وفي جميع الوتر. ومن دخل في الفاعل في صلاة النفل. أفسدها قضاها فإن صلى 4 ركعات مضاف مضاف إليه. قضاء is فعل plus تفاعل. ركعتين is the مفعول به. قال أبو يوسف يقضي 4. So 4 is مفعول به. قاعدا is the حال. مع القدرة على القيام مضاف مضاف إليه. قائما افتتح قائما is the حال as well. And then لا يجوز إلا من عذر, جار مجرور. ومن كان خارجا, so this is the خبر of كان, and اسم of كان is inside of كان, فعل plus the اسم. So يتنفل مع دابة على دابته إلى أي جهة توجهت يومي إيماء. إيماء مفعول مطلق. Okay, there you have it. That's the تركيب. Let's look at the masala. So here we have several masalas, about 4 masalas that we're going to be looking at today. So the first masala is, do you have to recite Fatiha and Surah in every single rak'at? So we divide this into the 4 rak'ats, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we've got on the left hand side fard, and we've got witr and other, anything else, nafal, sunnah, all that. So the rule for fard salat is you must recite Fatiha and Surah in the first 2 rakats, but you don't have to recite it in the 3rd rakat nor in the 4th rakat. You actually have a choice of doing one of 3 things. You can either read Fatiha, you can either stay silent for the duration of Fatiha, or you can just do tasbihat instead, say subhanallah instead. So there's actually 3 things that you can do. So he says, وَالْقِرَاءَةُ وَاجِبَةٌ. Qira'ah is necessary في الركعتين الأوليين, in the first 2 rakats of the prayer, or fard prayer. وَهُوَ مُخَيَّرٌ, and he has a choice في الأخريين, in the last 2. إن شاء, if he wishes, قرأ الفاتحة. وإن شاء, if he wishes, So that's number one. Number two, if he wishes, he can stay silent. He can actually stay silent for the duration of 3 subhanallah. So subhanallah, subhanallah, subhanallah. Wa in sha'a sabbaha. If he wishes, he can do tasbih, and he just has to say subhanallah 3 times. Subhanallah, 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 and that's it. Going to ruku. So this is if it's a fard. As for all other prayers, witr and others, you must recite in every single raka'at Fatiha and the surah. So witr is obviously 3 rakats, so it's in the 3, and there's no fourth. And all other nafil and sunnah prayers, you must recite in every single rakat. That's basically the rule. So والقراءة واجبة في جميع ركعات النفل. In all rakats of nafil, the recitation is necessary. وفي جميع الوتر, and in all witr, every single rakat of witr. So this is the first masala. The second masala is okay, so let me write this down. Fatiha plus surah is only in these 2 situations, witr and other prayers besides fard. The second masala now is that what is the ruling of a person who starts their nafil prayer and then breaks their nafil prayer? So nafil prayer is considered to be optional. You don't have to pray it. You won't be sinful for not praying it. However, if you do start a nafil prayer, then according to the Hanafis, you must complete it. And if you don't complete it, then you must repeat that prayer again. So if you break an optional prayer, it's necessary to repeat the prayer again. Okay, so this is for nafil. So this is why he says, وَمَنْ دَخَلَ فِي صَلَاةِ النَّفْلِ, whoever enters into a nafil prayer, ثُمَّ أَفْسَدَهَا, and then he spoils it, قَضَاهَا, he must do qada of it. Now, let's say for example, like you're praying 4 rakats, and you were to spoil the salat in the 3rd rakat, or in the 2nd rakat, or in the 4th rakat. How many rakats do you have to make up? So the rule basically according to Imam Abu Hanifa and Imam Muhammad is that whichever rakat you break, you only have to make up 2, those 2. So for example, like let's say 1st rakat and 2nd rakat. If you were to break the salat in the 1st rakat or in the 2nd rakat, you only have to make up 2. You do not have to make up 3 and 4 because you technically you didn't start them. Right? So you only have to make up the first 2, even if you intended to pray 4. And if you were to break one of the last 2 rakats, 3 or 4, then you only have to make up 2 as well. So your first 2 are done. It's just the last 2 which need to be repeated again. So this is the rule according to them. If you were to pray 6, right, and the same thing applies to 6, right? So whichever pair you nullify, you just have to make that pair up. That's all. And the same with 8, if you were to pray 8, and so forth. Imam Abu Yusuf rahimahullah, on the other hand, he says that no, you must make up all the rakats. So if you nullify the salat anywhere in the salat, you must make all of them up again, all 4. Right? So if you were to break it in the 1st rakat, you got to repeat all 4. 2nd rakat, you got to repeat all 4. 3rd rakat, all 4. 4th rakat, all 4. Right, so this is the second masala. So this is why he says, فَإِنْ صَلَّى أَرْبَعَ رَكَعَاتٍ, if a person was to pray 4 rakats, فِي الْأُولَيَيْنِ, in the first 2, وَقَعَدَ فِي الْأُولَيَيْنِ, and he sat after the first 2 rakats. In the first 2 rakats means he sat after the first 2 rakats, did a little sitting like التحيات لله. ثُمَّ أَفْسَدَ الْأُخْرَيَيْنِ, and then he nullifies the last 2. قَضَى رَكَعَتَيْن, he has to make up 2 rakats only. Right? وَقَالَ أَبُو يُوسُف, and Imam Abu Yusuf says, يَقْضِي, he must make up all 4. Okay, that's the second masala. The third masala, this is the masala with regards to, are you allowed to pray your nafil sitting or must you stand up? So the rule basically is this. If you are praying a fard salat, you must pray standing as long as you're not ill. Right? You must pray standing in all fard salat. However, when it comes to nafil prayer, then you have a choice. You can either stand and pray the nafil, or you can actually sit down. When we say sit down, you still have to do ruku and sujood properly. Okay, so nafil prayer, you have a choice. You can either stand or you can sit. But in fard, you must stand if you don't have an excuse. So he says, وَيُصَلِّي النَّافِلَةَ قَاعِدًا. He prays nafil prayer sitting down, مَعَ الْقُدْرَةِ, despite the ability to be able to stand. So you can be healthy, you can be able to stand, but nafil you're allowed to sit praying sitting. The only difference is the reward is going to be halved. So if you pray sitting, you're going to get half the reward. So for instance, like let's say for instance there's this guy here and this guy is praying, yeah. He's allowed to do that. However, what if he starts his prayer standing and then halfway through he decides to sit down? Can he do that without an excuse? So he starts standing, can he sit down? So the rule is, according to Imam Abu Hanifa, yes he can, because there's a choice. Standing is optional, sitting is optional. So if he starts his prayer standing, he's allowed to, for no reason, pray the rest of the prayer sitting. Yeah, so this is why he says, وَإِنْ افتتحها قائما, if he was to start the prayer standing, ثم قعد, and then sat down, جاز عند أبي حنيفة, is permissible according to Imam Abu Hanifa. وقال, however, صاحبين, they say no, you cannot do that. If you started your nafil prayer standing, you must adhere to the standing all the way through. So وقال لا يجوز إلا من عذر, you are not allowed to start standing and then carry on sitting unless you have a genuine excuse. So that's Abu Hanifa rahimahullah's position, you can. And Abu Yusuf and Muhammad, they say no, you can't unless there's a dire excuse or a reason. And the last masla today that we're doing is the masla with regards to, can you pray nafil prayer sitting on a mount, sitting on a horse or a donkey, or maybe even in the car? Are you allowed to basically pray your nafil like this? So the rule is, as long as you're outside of the city, you're not inside the main city, you're outside the city, you're somewhere else, in a village somewhere, or a town, or a small place, then you are allowed to pray your nafil sitting on the animal, and you don't have to do full ruku, nor do you have to face the qibla. So these two things are exempted. So imagine there's this person outside the city and he's praying nafil, and he's on his horse, let's say, for instance. He's got to be outside the city, by the way, yeah. And he's, let's say, on his horse. Let's give him a horse here. So this person now is allowed to pray in any direction the horse is going, even if it's going against the qibla. He's allowed to pray. So he can pray on the mount, and he doesn't have to do full ruku and sujood. He just has to do indication, ishara, for this, right? So ruku and sujood can be done through indication, and he does not have to face the qibla, like we said, right? So these are the two things to remember, but this is only for outside of the city. This is not for inside of the city. So let's have a look at the text. Man kana kharij al-misri, whoever is outside of the city. Yatanaffalu, he's allowed to pray nafal, ala dabati, on his mount, ila ayyi jihatin, to whichever direction tawajjahat, the animal faces, yumi ima'an, indicating with ishara, with signals. And that's it basically. So there's 4 maslas that we covered today. I hope you guys benefit from this. Inshallah, I will see you guys next time. If you have any questions or any comments, anything, please put them in the comments below. And yes, thank you very much for my wonderful patrons, who without you guys supporting this channel, will become something that possibly I wouldn't be able to make the videos. And if you guys want to become patrons and support this channel and help me on a monthly basis to be able to produce more videos, then check out the link in the description, and I will see you guys next time, inshallah ta'ala. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakumullah khair for watching this video. I hope to see all of you guys. If you guys are interested, please leave us feedback, get in contact with us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.